Being a Hindu girly, I have created and cultivated many habits that just focus on peace of mind and healthier lifestyle, healthier quality living. And today I'm going to be sharing those habits with you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Kamika, and I started this channel to share my experiences, my knowledge, and everything that I've accumulated and learned on this path. Now, if you haven't checked out my daily routine for Sanatani's video already, that one is out, and I'm gonna pretty much cover the same kind of things in this one. This one is a little bit different because it's more geared towards femininity. First daily habit I'm gonna talk about is puja, which is, I think I started off the last video like this as well. Puja is just your daily prayers that you do. It doesn't have to be daily. So you wake up early in the morning or whenever you wake up, and you do a puja for your Ishta Devi, whichever one. If you are confused and not sure what to do in your puja, I have many different slideshows that I posted to Instagram and TikTok of like different deities and how to do their pujas. But also in the previous video to this one, I did explain how to do a very basic puja for every day, so you can go check that out. So you'll do your puja to just help you connect with the divine for the day and align with that energy. On top of your puja and meditation, you should have, if that is your daily sadhana, then but you should also just have a grounding spiritual routine for every day. Either mantra chanting, just meditation for a few minutes. And during the day, you can also read scriptures, and if you have like a specific book that you are reading, take time out of each day to just read it and really connect with it and connect with Ishvara and learn, It be that you're reading the Bhagavad Gita, or if you're reading a Purana, just take time out each day to study your scripture. Studying scriptures can also help you feel more connected to Saraswati Devi. She is the goddess of knowledge, and so by studying scriptures or your work or whatever you have to study, taking time to like offer respect to Saraswati. Now I want to talk about healthiness of the body and the mind, which is very good to incorporate daily habits to further develop peace in our mind. So the first thing I was going to talk about is more to do with physical health, which is hatha yoga practices. Hatha yoga is the physical yoga that we see, like the stretching, the asanas, all of that. But I would highly suggest that you do find like traditional hatha yoga and the correct one. It will help you be grounded. It's good for your muscles, it's good for your physical health, it's also good for releasing endorphins. Notice that after action, you feel a bit better, you feel a bit more relaxed, or you feel a bit happier. There's a lot of asanas for connecting with your inner Shakti and opening up. A lot of women tend to store like stress and tension and trauma in the hips, so a lot of asanas will help with alleviating that tension. Self-love and self-care are extremely important. The act of caring for the body is called Sharira Shuddhi. The self, we have to honor ourselves, this vessel that we are given. Our Atma is a part of the Supreme Paramatman, and by honoring ourselves, we honor both divine and our Atma, because our Atma is part of the divine. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it says the Atman is to be loved, for by loving the self, all beings are loved. Loving yourself is loving the divine within you. Self-care isn't only actions that you take. Definitely is actions like what you eat and the habits you keep, but also the way you talk to yourself is extremely important in not only your own health, both mental and physical, but the world around you and how you view the world around you. People that take out their anger on others and people that are quite judgy of other people is usually because they have a huge internal critic. So the way you talk to yourself is very important, and it's very beneficial to practice affirmations or positive self-talk, especially if you were brought up in an environment where you were always told off even for things that like weren't necessarily a problem, but you were always judged and always picked on. It's very important to like now cultivate within yourself positive reinforcements. You know, when you mess up something, do you ever find yourself telling yourself, oh, I'm so stupid, I should have done this, I should have been better? Like, we need to cut that out. We need to start talking to yourself better, as how you would talk to somebody that you love. Self-care can also just look like, you know, not pushing yourself past your limit. You don't have to push yourself to do things you don't have the energy to do. But self-care also means doing things that are hard but healing. If you know, for example, a conversation needs to be had, but you're a person who's quite avoidant, and or you just feel like, you know, you don't have this thing, you don't want to sort this out, but you know that it will benefit you in the long run, then you should do that, because it's an act of self-care also. More practical side of things, definitely like treating yourself with love and with kindness, and adorning yourself when you feel like it, caring for your body. You know, me personally, I'm a very, very sensitive person, so I try to create habits and do things that kind of allow me to be comfortable in that sensitivity. Make sure that everything's comfortable around me. If I am upset about something, I would do my best to comfort myself. So like getting, you know, just having teas in the evening and like watching a comfort show. The biggest thing for me in self-love would just be to treat yourself exactly how you would treat a friend that you really love. Next thing I want to talk about is the moon. So the moon, or chandra, is very, very heavily associated with feminine energy, but also like it has a certain influence over us. In the different phases of the moon, different effects will occur, because at the full moon, you know, it brings up everything, it heightens all of the energy. Whatever you were feeling already, you would just feel more of it. If you were sad, you'll feel more sad. If you were happy, feel more happy. Angry, you'll feel more angry. The energy is heightened with the moon, and there's a lot of rituals for moon harmonization. For example, moon bathing, like standing in the moonlight, absorbing that moon energy, the prana from the moon. It helps cool the pitta dosha, which results in emotional balance for you. The moon is also linked to beauty, tranquility, and cyclical transformation. In the Devi Mahatma, the goddess is described as Chandraganta, a goddess who is established in the form of the crescent moon. When we do certain things to harmonize with the moon and our femininity, we're also harmonizing with the Devi herself. Another thing I want to talk about is the menstruation cycle. See, I made a video about this a while back. A lot of women and girls are told that they cannot go to the mandir or the koil on their periods, because it's supposedly impure time and it is distracting for the energy of the temple. But I just want to clear that up. So it's not forbidden for you to go to the temple on your period, and it's not impure, and you're not impure on your period. What happens during the time of menstruation is the prana of your body is flowing downwards. So naturally you're going to feel tired. Naturally your energy, your prana is moving down. And on the physical side of things, you're tired anyway and you're in pain. And so it was advised back then to just rest. In a temple, the energy, the prana is all moving upwards. So it's a conflict of energy within your own body. It's not forbidden, and it's not like anything bad will happen to you if you do go, but it's just advised to rest in that time. The period is not impure. How can it be impure when Devi herself is worshipped and recognized as Kamakhya? If you guys don't know about Kamakhya Devi, there's a festival every year called Ambubachi Mela, and people will go and worship Ma Kamakhya while she is bleeding on her period. So it's not impure. Mindset. Now, mindset is something that I cannot stress enough. Your mind at the end of the day is the thing that you experience life through to a certain extent. When somebody says something to you, you can process it a certain way, and that's how we have like misunderstandings and things, because of our own mind. For example, someone says something in a tone, supposedly. To you it can sound like they had a harsher tone, but in their mind they could just feel like they're talking normally, and then it can cause a whole kind of conflict. So mindset is extremely important. The tips I'm going to share with you now, I learned from reading the Four Agreements. I cannot suggest this book enough, guys. If you haven't read it already, please go and read it. It's very, very beneficial. The first one is, I'm not saying them in the order they are in the book, I'm just gonna explain. Don't take anything personally, which means nothing anyone ever does is because of you, even if they address you directly. Everything people are doing is from their own state of consciousness. 2, be impeccable with your word. This means impeccable is without sin. To be impeccable with your word, simply put, is say what you mean and mean what you say. Say what you mean. There's a lot of times where we often have issues and then you might go later and think, why did I say that? I didn't even mean that. Really think before you speak. Number 3, always do your best. I said this in the last one. Your best doesn't mean be perfect. It just means your best. And whatever is your best, you can't be upset with yourself afterwards because you know you did your best already. The 4th is don't make any assumptions, because this is another thing that leads to misunderstandings. If you don't know for certain, don't act on it, don't make any decisions about it, don't make assumptions. So all of those are really good mindset to keep. Especially, I really love the don't take anything personally one. And also, guys, taking the end of each day to write gratitude is also really beneficial. I know everybody says this, but genuinely it helps you take your mind off of things that went wrong. Because I know for some of us, it's very hard to focus on good things. And like, sometimes you finish the day just thinking about everything that went wrong. But this isn't good for you. It's not good for your reality. Because if all you're doing is focusing on the bad things, you kind of just get used to being on the frequency of negativity. So it's very important to like write your gratitude, things you're grateful for, down each day. Adding on to mindset, I said this in the last video as well, ahimsa, which is harm to none, including yourself. So back to talking, positive self-talk, no negative self-talk, no negative talk to other people. If somebody's bothering you, keep that person at a distance unless the situation truly calls for it. But avoiding conflict is optimal.